Aloha, y'all. It is, what is today? Let's look. Tuesday, I thought so. Tuesday, Tears Day. Named after the Mars equivalent in the Nordic pantheon, Tyr, esoterically also ruled by Mars, Tears Days. The 30th of December. Sorry, I've been on a little vacation, so I'm kind of out of the saddle, but I'm getting back in it, so here we is. Sun is in Capricorn, 9 degrees. The moon is in Taurus, 16 degrees. I'll say a few things astrologically as we go. I don't have to overwhelm you, but Venus, 7 degrees Cap. Mars, 11 degrees Cap. They're conjunct with the Sun, 9 degrees Cap. There's a whole lot of Capricorn energy going on, right? But there's always something going on. Some trines between the moon and all that Capricorn energy, etc., etc. But the cards I pulled for today are the Five of Cups with the Tower card, Clarifier, and the artist of wild card is Caravaggio. So let's get into it. If you are a water sign, you're a cup. So Cancers, Scorpios, and Pisces, you are all the emotional signs. And the cups, like I just said, are about the emotions, the flow of the psychic feels. On page 150, the Five of Cups, I am inconsolable. Hope is not gone. Allow yourself to grieve what is spilled. Give in to the grief and work through it. The Sun in Capricorn, conjunct Mars and Venus, like we're willing to do the work right now, so let's do it. The Swiss-American psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was a pioneer in research on near-death experiences and the process of grief. She postulated the 5 stages of grief. Denial, this can't be happening. Anger, why me? It's not fair. Bargaining, if only ... I would. Depression, why go on? And acceptance, it's going to be okay. Towards the end of her own life, she said the stages were not always a linear, predictable progression. This opened the door for us to understand grief as a process which unfolds across time. Ultimately, the process travels across different emotional topographies that must make the full journey in order to reach the land of acceptance and integration. With so much Capricorn, the moon, and Taurus, we can really ground and integrate things and see things as necessary and unavoidable, but we might be also, reticent to engage the difficulties. In the Five of Cups, a distraught yet almost indistinguishable figure crouches by the river, watching as a hand desperately reaches out from the rushing torrent as it is swept away. 5 cups, 5 stages, must be consumed in order to move on. 3 cups hold red inflammation. 1 stands empty with feelings of emptiness and meaninglessness. The last cup holds hope, a return to the heart. For this card to have impact, one does not have to be dealing with something catastrophic. It points to the fact that we all carry tremendous grief. Ancestral grief, family grief, cultural grief, grief for our loss of innocence. We all live out the 5 stages of grief in numerous ways. A dream job we have worked so hard for, Sun and Cap, conjunct Mars and Venus, falls through, Uranus and Taurus. A relationship breaks out. Children leave the home. No one passes through life untouched by grief or loss. Grief is part of the natural cycle of life. We can stop fighting against it and allow ourselves to feel what needs to be felt. Tarot offers us an opportunity to see ourselves through different eyes, to see what needs to be questioned, healed, and released. It offers us new vistas to move towards and explore. Byron Katie's system, The Work, offers a way of questioning and releasing the painful stories we inhabit, stepping into the open freedom that is our true, radiant, and untarnished self. The beliefs and definitions, how we see things, how we frame the movie, tends to color our experience of it. See the movie inside out, if you don't know what I mean. The Five of Cups took me to my own deep grief, the loss of loved ones, failures, hard times I had put my family through with relentless pursuits of creative dreams. It's David DeAndre speaking. He's been on my podcast a few times. Shout out. The fast-flowing river in the card has more than one meaning or possibility. Of course, we can be swept away by the river of tears, but we can also be cleansed by it. We can put right what we can and let go of our grief, let it be taken back to the great ocean of life. For me, this card does not point to the arrival of some form of grief, for it has already arrived, and we carry it in our cells. Instead, it presents a question and a powerful possibility. It asks you to look at the grief you hold on to, right? Sun, Mars, Venus, conjunct Capricorn, Moon, and Taurus. We can be a little, clutchy with our lives and say, nothing can change. I'm like a turtle saying, I'm going to hide my shell and wait for this storm to pass. It asks you to look at the grief you hold on to. It invites you to complete with it and let it go. Letting life, nature, take care of transmuting it back into energy. Hope is not gone. Allow yourself to grieve what is spilled. Give into the grief and work through it. With so much Capricorn energy, we do need to work through it, but we might feel like that is overwhelming. That is too much for me. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. right? But we have to release and alchemize through the tears. It's just part of the stages of life. And the better we equip ourselves and the more awareness we bring to that, the less shocking it will be. So the clarifying card is the Tower card. I have written music to all the major arcana, so check out the song I wrote for this called Shocker. It's pretty groovy and dancey and electronic and like graffiti made into music. On page 54, the Tower, I know that radical transformation is being required of me, right? Pluto in Aquarius trining Uranus and Taurus retrograde. We're having some growth pains here. Growth pains hurt so bad. Why me? Why is this happening? Can I change it? Yes, you can by changing your perspective and, transmuting, ultimately. Rapid, unsettling change. Surrender to the flashes of insight. Power in not knowing. Your world feels like it's falling apart. Strengthen your core beliefs with Sun, conjunct Venus and Mars in Capricorn, right, with the Mercury in the last degrees, conjunct my Sun actually, the last degrees of Sagittarius. The truth can move us in ways we didn't expect. But when that release occurs and we change the frame of the story, we have a new perspective, like this gargoyle. We can see things, I can see clearly now, but you got to kind of get it out of your system. So the wild card is coming from Caravaggio. He's an Italian Renaissance painter. Let's read about him and get some advice and tie it all together. So Caravaggio, by today's standards, Caravaggio would have a medical diagnosis, a genius. He was also belligerent and homicidal. His frequent travels were due to law evasion, not wanderlust. Plague left him a young orphan. Immense talent won him high society's patronage. Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Taurus. Like, he was artistic and valued for doing the beauty and paid, right? Like his life, his paintings are passionate and bloody contrasts, light and dark, innocence and brutality with lots of severed heads. Example, David with the head of Goliath. While killing it professionally, Sun in Cap, Mars, Venus in Cap, conjunct that Sun. While killing it professionally, Caravaggio literally killed a pimp. He then made his final masterpieces as a fugitive and died shortly after being jumped by vengeful assailants who busted his face and eyesight. Classic Caravaggio. So we could feel a little like our eyesight is busted. Oh my God, what I did is coming back to haunt me. How do I deal with this? It's like, we're going to have to face these shocks head on. There's no avoiding change, right? And how we let go and transmute and ultimately shed the snakeskin is part of the ease or difficulty through which we journey, right? We don't want to lose our heads. Where's your head at? Right? We don't want to cry me a river, right? But we also know that life is suffering and challenging, and it ain't easy being green. So the advice we're getting from Caravaggio is adjust your eyes to darkness, right? We have to adjust our eyesight to these stories and the situations we find ourselves, creating enough space of awareness to get those flashes of insight, change the story, change the definitions and beliefs, and help see things from a higher perspective. See how that eye sees things from above? Yes, slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, but if we can kind of let it out and let it flow, we can change and move in such ways that we see differently now. The eyes adjust to the darkness, and we don't maybe feel so victimized or out of control. We're never in control, but we have influence, more agency than we might dare dream, and that is our superpower. North Node in Pisces. We can dream a different dream. So, if you've enjoyed this, leave a tip, obviously. Comment. I love engaging with people. Tag somebody maybe who's not into this kind of stuff and can geek out and get turned on to it, or people that appreciate tarot and astrology and all the magical mystery tour shit I do. If you want a reading, $50 for an hour of cards, 5 tarot and 5 oracle, just like this. We'll geek out on your sitch, and that's $50. 3 hours of astrology is $150. But if it's your birthday, happy birthday Capricorns, it is half off on either a card reading and or an astrology reading. So the great way to save money there, half off. And if you refer somebody to me, you get half off on a card reading for yourself. So this too shall pass, but it's going to shock us and it cause our eyes to adjust. Know that. And with all this earth energy, we can really kind of settle in and be like, all right, I know I just gained some weight for the holidays, time to get in the gym or whatever it is, right? Check out the song I wrote for the card. You'll enjoy it, I guarantee. And yeah, on that note, enjoy your Tears Day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Adios.